my SD cards, so
It's all right. I got so much space now. This is nice. If you want to paint your fingernails every episode,
Well, you'd have a lot of colors.
colors.
So many colors.
So,
So many short-lived colors as well if we keep doing episodes like this.
oh boy. All right, Josh, you want to introduce us while I flip over this?
Oh yeah, you're flipping a screen?
Yeah.
All right. Well then, welcome back to Jeff and Jash.
Thanks.
Yeah. As Nathan's settling in, based on all his settling, you can tell Jeff's not here today.
No, but I sound like I'm not Nathan either because I'm really creaking around here.
Yeah, you are creaky. But you're filling in, Nathan. Again, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is another, not really any guest episode. We got Austin on tech. Got the name right first try this time. So
hey.
I just kind of, I felt like it'd be a nice time to hang out
yeah,
and just talk.
Just
Talk
kicking
about garbage like we used to.
Yeah, I mean,
So, yeah.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? What's going on? Madison, you're painting your nails.
Madison painting.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
It's good.
Have you painted your skin yet?
Oh, well, just now, yes.
Sorry, my bad. I feel like I caused that. Oz, how you doing?
Doing good.
You doing good?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Josh, how you doing?
Feeling good, man. A little tired.
Yeah. Coffee though?
Got a little coffee in me.
Red Bull.
Thanks, Madison, for the coffee.
Oh yeah.
Anytime.
It's a weird smell in here. Coffee
Mix of
plus
Red Bull
fingernails
and
plus
kind of-
Red Bull.
and kind of lingering
And dogs.
wings and dog.
Yeah, and sweat. I smell myself.
Well, you are
I'm so sweaty.
sweaty right now.
I just did a wind sprint out to my car to get a SD card.
How'd that go for you?
I'm so full of milk, so not good. But
Not good.
yeah. Do you guys have any stories you want to share in the podcast? Because I got one, and I haven't found a good way to shoehorn it in yet.
Nice.
No, okay, nothing. I will go.
I have one.
Okay, hit me.
Okay,
Try to go
so
for
yesterday I went huckleberry picking.
Ooh.
Which, if you've been in Bozeman for any amount of time, you will know is a sacred summer tradition.
That's gold.
It's a Montana. summer
It's a Montana summer tradition.
Western Montana.
That doesn't surprise me. Austin, you haven't floated the river.
No.
Have you hiked
Austin's
the
never
M?
floated a river.
No.
Yeah,
Austin.
you haven't hiked the M.
No.
We're just gonna catch you up on some things. But okay.
It's all
anyway,
right. Hey.
huckleberry picking.
Yeah.
Sacred tradition.
Yeah.
The spots of the huckleberries, your huckleberry patch, are fiercely guarded, right?
And super secret.
And super secret. So,
Other than the one you were at,
yeah, but mine happens to
which was
be
a hiking trail.
up on a notorious hiking trail somewhere past Livingston. And at the beginning of the day, everybody's super respectful because we were up there early, and anybody up there early is,
Nice.
a seasoned hiker
Yeah.
usually, most of the time, because they're up there and down, before everybody else, and they know what you're doing. They see you in those bushes, and they see your look, your fearful look that they will start diving into your bushes too, and they just pass on by, like you should, as one should. You don't invade other people's huckleberry patch.
Correct.
But later in the day, you just get these waves of small children and the elderly. And I happened to be squatting in my huckleberry patch, right?
As one does.
As one does, picking all the berries. I was having a great time till a group of 3 older people come rolling down the trail. And I'm squatting by the side of the trail, and they're old, like maybe late 70s, early 80s. And they just squat down next to me, like not like next to me, but like right next to me. And they're like, "What you doing?" As I'm like picking berries and putting them in the bucket. I'm like, "Well, I'm huckleberry picking," as I'm trying to like kind of just ignore them and hope that they don't pick my berries.
Yeah.
And then they start picking my berries, and they're like, "Are these it?" As they stuff them into their faces. And I'm like, "Well, they better be it, because if not, you just probably poisoned yourself." But I didn't say that out loud. I was like, "Yeah, those are it." And so they continue kind of to just pick along next to me for a while as I kind of become more agitated. And then they just are like, "Okay, well, thank you for sharing your patch." And they take a picture and then they leave. But I just thought it was so strange. Like, it's just funny how people just don't always have... there's just a trail etiquette,
Yeah.
Sure.
The unspoken trail etiquette that for some people
Goes over their head.
goes over their head.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that the trail etiquette is there until it's broken. And then you're just like,
That's true.
What is
Although I feel
happening?
like if someone gets to like 80 years old and they don't know A, what a huckleberry looks like, and B, anything about trail etiquette, that's probably a good sign they're from out of
I
town.
think they were from out of town.
So-
yeah. But Still,
But
it was strange. Like
That is
they
odd.
like squatted like shoulder to shoulder with me
Ooh, that's
along the
weird.
trail, and I was just
Nice.
What?
Hello there.
yeah. So that is my story of the day.
Okay.
Just
That's a good story.
yeah,
That was
Good
like
story.
yesterday.
that was yesterday.
Nice.
Wow.
It really has. There was no reason to share that. But
You know what?
I just thought
That's
I'd
what this
share
podcast is for, sharing things that we have no reason to share.
Yeah.
So,
You know it.
Yeah. I was just in Missoula. I'm
Okay.
trying to think of any significant stories that happened
got a
there.
tattoo while you were there.
Right. Significant, I
That's
guess.
cool.
Permanent.
that. Permanent
Yep.
at least, if not significant.
I did get a tattoo in Missoula. Me and my brothers. This was a fun little kind of brother thing, I guess. Last year, right before my brother's wedding, I had came up with the idea like we should all do something memorable together, like tattoos, and they thought that was a great idea. Last year it wouldn't work though because Joe, being a little stinker, decided I need to be swimming on my honeymoon. Like that's important. So for the sake of not ensuring that he would not get an infected tattoo, we chose not to do that last year.
Oh, because you can't swim after you get one?
Right. You got to wait at least a week.
That's right.
10 to 14 days is probably a good
And, like, wrap
extra
it?
buffer.
Plastic wrap?
Yeah, if you have to shower.
Yeah. I'm actually, quick showers are okay
Okay.
without having to cover it up because it's just an open wound that's
Yep.
healing right now in my body with ink inside of it.
Yep.
So that's what a tattoo actually is, in case you're curious why
It's rough.
you got to take care of it. Is someone stabs you many times in the skin.
Like thousands and thousands
Yeah,
of times.
really.
Not very deeply. Just
Not
all
deeply,
flesh.
thankfully. Yeah. Only in the skin, but skin deep where scars.
And on your ribs, it's practically bone deep.
Right. Because I am a skinny little stinker.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that would hurt.
Skinny Little Stinkers. Next band name.
True.
Sorry.
Oh,
Continue.
no.
Skinny little stinkers.
I'll write that down later.
Okay.
So yeah, me and my brothers finally were able to get together and say that we're doing it this year, and we got these little 3 mountain peaks.
Nice.
No specific, just
One for
generic.
each of you.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Was 3 for 3 brothers, and
Nice.
um,
Which peak were you?
I'm obviously the largest because I'm the most important. No,
Gotcha.
we really didn't designate. We just wanted 3 peaks.
Okay. Okay.
If anything, it would be like Dan's the middle one, and Joe and I are on the sides because the sides ones are the same height, and the other one's taller. And it's
Gotcha.
like Dan's a little taller, and Joe's slightly taller than me, but we're twins, and so it's like
Sure.
if you want to read into it, tattoo.
I do.
I'm certainly not going to go that far,
Okay.
especially because Cyrus, the guy who drew it in about 5 minutes.
He's
Stud.
just that good.
He's just that good.
Wow.
It looks great though. I wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
he drew it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's really great. I got it on my ribs, which is why I'm not just lifting up my shirt to show you it. 'cause
Can we post a photo later?
Cut to a photo.
We could probably cut to a photo.
Like
yeah.
a really, really close up.
Yeah.
Or far up if you
Or-
want to see Josh
you-
without a shirt on.
I do have a picture we could probably just crop and you can see
Cool.
it. It's still super red at the time. It was
Shout out
right
to
after
me.
I got the tattoo. Joe got it on the forearm, right below the joint.
Nailed
Couldn't
it.
remember the word.
Yeah.
And then my older brother got it right on the chest,
Nice.
close to the heart, I guess. I don't
Sure.
know. So that was fun. It's kind of a neat little story now I've got, and
Nice.
it's fun. It was a good time. It does feel like you're just getting stung, like a lot. And that was kind of my impression. Was he's like, okay, I'm just gonna start with a little line. I'm like, great, go ahead. And I was like, feels like I'm getting stung.
So is it kind of like I can back out after this line and you'll just have a tiny line on you forever?
No, you would have a tiny line on you forever.
So but it was like
Yeah,
it'd be worth it
right.
to stop. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the best spot instead of like halfway through.
Right.
But mine was short. It took like 30 minutes to do the whole thing. It's
That seems like a long time to be continuously stung
Yeah.
well,
or stabbed.
I mean, comparatively, there was a guy in the getting a tattoo right next to us who was like wrapping up his forearm piece.
Sleeve.
Yeah. And so he was getting like a skull and a snake, and just, he was a big, like bald biker dude. Kind
Okay.
Of, you know, just
Fair
the
enough.
kind you'd expect to see in a tattoo parlor.
Yeah. He works in a coffee shop down the street.
Yeah, probably. Just a big, intimidating guy.
Yeah.
Makes coffee. But he was there. So they were doing a lot of work before we showed up because they were like, he was getting a lot. Like by the time I saw it, there was a significant amount done. But they were about halfway done when I left. So I was like, man, that is not cheap.
Yeah.
Was my first thought, because my tattoo, 30 minutes was $75. So I can't imagine what like a 3 or 4 hour tattoo session costs.
Sure.
I'm like, ugh.
I can't imagine giving a 3 or 4 hour tattoo session.
Yeah, those
Like,
guys are
how-
champions.
How do you?
They do it all day. That's just their
Yeah.
job.
I got a ton of respect for those guys.
I know, because you literally just like sit there staring at a person's skin and just
And it's one of the most important permanent things.
Right.
Like you can't mess it up.
no.
You know?
Yeah.
But
So props to tattoo artists.
shout
They're
out.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Good at what they do.
Nice.
If you are ever looking to get one and feel like going all the way to Missoula for a tattoo, Black Owl I thought was great.
Okay.
Nice.
They're pretty booked out usually, so you got to get an appointment. But
This episode is brought to you by Black Owl.
yeah,
Nah.
they did a great job. They were super clean. I just felt very comfortable in the shop.
Cool.
Good music playing. They had just some classic rock. I was like,
Nice.
this is awesome.
What you'd expect for like a good tattoo experience.
Right. Not
Nice.
like, you know, when you see people in the movies very much under the influence and getting a tattoo in this mangy
Hole in the wall.
hole in the wall
Yeah,
kind of
I
thing,
feel that.
like behind a pawn shop, and you're like, this is sketchy as heck because the tattoo needle came from the pawn shop.
Oh,
kind of thing.
side
So-
comment. For all you people who use I just got a tattoo to not donate blood, that does not apply if you got it at a state regulated shop, which is all of them in Montana.
There you go.
So,
So
donate blood.
You're welcome. You can
Donate
still
blood.
donate.
Yeah, sorry.
Madison the phlebotomist checking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that as being a repercussion to a tattoo, actually.
Yeah.
I would not have second guessed, like, I would have just been like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with my blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course,
You are getting
Yeah.
stabbed with a needle multiple
multiple times. And
Yeah.
it did bleed.
And yes.
Yeah.
So
But
that's a story, I guess.
appreciate you
There
sharing.
you go.
I like
yeah.
it.
That happened this week.
Okay.
Austin, do you have anything to share?
I don't think really. I got back from Texas last week,
Nice.
which
Ooh,
was
Texas.
a good trip.
How hot?
Conference,
How
see
hot was it
friends.
there?
It was 100,
Ooh.
102, somewhere right around there.
That's
It was really toasty,
Roasty,
Yeah.
toasty.
but it was good.
Nice.
There was a pool where we
Ooh,
were staying.
that's good.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Did you get sunburned?
No,
Nice.
How'd
No.
you do that?
It's lower elevation, so there's more air for the sun to go through.
true. As
Is
well
that
as-
really a thing?
Totally.
really?
You can get sunburned on a mountain way easier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Than in
that
the
makes
valley.
sense. That's
Yeah.
why we get sunburn, like skiing. a
Yeah,
lot.
so we're way higher because we're at about a mile here, and so it's a lot easier for us to get sunburned than
Interesting.
in like
But
Southern
there's
California.
like a ratio to like from like distance to equator and elevation, right? There has to be some kind because like when you're at the equator, I feel like it's super easy to get sunburned, but
Probably because you're out
You're
in the
on a
sun just
beach.
way more.
There's more
Maybe.
sun, maybe, or
Okay.
or maybe it's more direct
maybe
Yeah.
maybe
because
it's more
maybe if you're
direct.
further
angle
along the
through
curve of the
that.
Earth,
Yep.
the angle means that it has to go through more air too.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Science.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that sounds
I also
right.
just feel like there's something to do with like closer to the equator is warmer, so you're out in the sun a bit more probably.
Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah.
And that's when I get sunburnt.
sure.
I mean, logically, it's
When you're
not
out in
like
the sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense, right?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say close to the equator. I don't think you've ever left the U.S., so you've never been that close to the equator.
But Georgia's significantly closer.
And it's
than
very
Montana.
hot
It's
and sunny.
stupid hot,
Yeah, but
but pretty.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
There you go. Texas,
Yep.
fun,
Word.
good stuff.
Indeed.
So, guys, I got in a wreck in an Uber.
You
Did I tell
mentioned
you
this
about
to
this?
me, yes.
Yeah.
and I want to hear about it on the podcast.
Okay, all right.
because-
We'll keep this brief. But I was on a trip. I flew down to Denver, and then my dad and I were there. We rented a truck, like a 16-foot box truck. Drove up to Fort Collins, packed up my older sister, Stephanie. Shout out to Stephanie, who does not watch this. And we drove her up to Iowa City, where she's going to PA school. So it was like a nice, easy 13, 14-hour drive in a box truck
Easy
that
peasy.
only went 65 or 70. But she got 35 miles to the gallon because she was like 10 feet behind, drafting the entire way.
Clutch.
So that was sweet. We got about 7 miles to the gallon. And so we got there. Everything went pretty well. And we were like, well, our bad luck's going to catch up to us because my dad and I have terrible travel luck, usually, which indeed happened to be the case. We were trying to fly back Thursday night. We got delayed by a storm flying out of wherever little city we were flying out of in Iowa to Minneapolis. And so we only had a 30-minute connection and our flight was 45 minutes late. So there were no other flights into Bozeman that night. So we had to get a hotel. So we got an Uber, went to the hotel. And then the next morning, 5 a.m., we had rebooked our flight for like a 6:15. So we had to, or 6:30. So we had to get to the airport really early. So it's 5 a.m. We were sitting at the lobby of our hotel. We grab an Uber and we were kind of annoyed because the Uber driver was en route to the airport with somebody else, and he accepted our ride, even though there were like 4 more right next to the airport. He was just on it, so he grabbed us before those guys could. So we had to wait for him to drop off that guy and then come all the way back and get us.
Not
Which
cool.
was only like 5 minutes, but it was still kind of annoying because we could see the other drivers waiting for people at our hotel, but we couldn't do anything about it.
Not cool.
So he shows up. We were kind of like, the thing said, oh, your driver's probably hard of hearing in the app, so be aware of that. And we're like, okay, that's fine. We get in there, it reeks of cigarette smoke, and he's this pretty old guy. He's in the car, and we just start going. And then I'm on my phone, right? I'm trying to craft up a tasty tweet, you know,
of course,
as you do.
as you do.
And we hear him curse as he went through a roundabout, and I think he was supposed to take that turn. And then we hear him curse again as he passes another intersection. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like he's a driver, not me, and so I'm not really paying attention. My dad is sitting next to me in the back. There's no seatbelt on his side, so he's like trying to get the seatbelt, can't find it. We're only about like 90 seconds into our ride, and my dad's got his big old backpack on his lap, and all of a sudden, like, it felt like we hit a speed bump at 30 miles an hour, because we basically did. My head hit the ceiling a bunch of times, and the car is just shaking,
man.
and I hit the seatbelt really hard and like just like snapped against it. And then we stopped, and we were in a parking lot. And so what had happened was there was a T intersection, right? We were coming down the T, and there was a left and a right only. And then there was a sidewalk and about 15 feet of grass and a parking lot. We hit the curb on the sidewalk because he didn't turn left or right. And then we didn't touch ground again until about 5 feet into the grass. So we cleared the whole sidewalk and some of the grass in a Nissan Altima, and just went like smashed 3 or 4 times, enough that we hit our heads a few times on the ceiling, and then landed really, really hard. And so my dad's glasses are gone. My phone is gone. We're like trying to find them, and my dad can't read his phone to cancel the rides because we need to get to the airport.
Yeah.
And so we're like, I'm trying to find my phone to get to the flashlight so we can get his glasses, which are underneath my feet on my side somehow. He didn't have a seatbelt, but fortunately he had his giant backpack on his lap, so he kind of folded around that.
Oh yeah.
And then the Uber driver's like, I didn't even see that. Did you guys see that? And we're like, clearly you didn't see that. And then he's like, guys, I'm really sorry. I think I got a flat tire. I don't think we can make it to the airport. And we open our door, and it just smells like gas and oil and rubber. And both his tires, like there's a chunk missing from the wheel itself, and the tires are completely flat. The whole car is kind of twisted, and then the like front bumper is like scraped up. It was ridiculous. And so we like called another Uber, and we were so shaken that we didn't even think to take pictures, which is really stupid. And so this Uber comes and picks us up at a random parking lot at the end of an intersection, takes us the rest of the way. And then we check in, go through security, we sit down at our gate, and then about 20 minutes later, we were like, does your neck hurt? And my dad was like, my back really hurts. And we were just like in a ton of pain. We started walking, and it was like our necks were really hurting. And my dad's legs started to go numb on that flight. So the second we touched down in Bozeman, we went straight to urgent care. My dad got x-rays. He's fine now. And actually, I took like a week and a half to recover because of the whiplash from hitting the seatbelt.
Yeah.
He was good in like 3 days because he didn't have a seatbelt. So anyways, but Uber was great about it. We contacted them, and they dealt with the whole thing. But anyways, that's like one of 8 Ubers I've been in.
Yeah.
And it got in a wreck.
Yeah. What
So,
are the odds?
I don't know. Yeah.
1 in 8 apparently.
Yep. So that was a weird story that I haven't been able to shoehorn into a podcast this whole time. So
Now you have.
now I have. But
There you go.
I think that's about all the time we got. I don't know how long we've been rolling, but
16 minutes.
man,
Oh man, we
can cut a short one because
17.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was good to catch up with you guys.
Yeah.
Madison, how'd your nails turn out?
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
But see, the thing is, like, they always look great right after, and then I bump them on things. So we'll see how they look by the end.
No, gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's been a good time. I hope our Uber story isn't a reflection of all Uber rides for you.
I still
No.
love Uber.
Generally, a great service.
I love. Yeah,
so
they're
not
so
trying
nice.
to knock Uber.
No,
Have you used Uber, Josh?
No,
Me neither.
me.
Oh, really?
haven't.
They're so great.
they're good.
Someone once told me.
I haven't been to a large city
Oh,
in
they have
a
them
long
here.
time.
But
A friend of mine drives
I have no
for 'em.
reason to use
I have
it.
no need for an Uber in
Yeah.
Bozeman, Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone once told me that like your parents used to tell you don't talk to strangers on the internet and don't get into a stranger's car. And now we
do
use
both.
the internet to summon strangers so
To
we
get
can
in
get in
there.
their car.
It's a good time.
So true.
So anyways,
So, use Uber.
use it or Lyft. I don't care.
Yeah.
Both
but
are great.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. If you want to check this podcast out elsewhere, you can do that on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify. Hopefully,
Maybe.
listen to me and put it up there. Check out our website, jeffandjosh.net. You can see episodes a day early, and you can click that little store icon to purchase a shirt if you would like. We have a couple in stock.
Yeah.
And I can always print more. But yeah, leave a comment asking us questions you want us to answer,
Share a random story, kind of like we just did.
that'd be great. Tweet us your no, leave it in the YouTube
No,
comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one's gonna tweet.
We probably won't.
Yeah,
find the
Twitter's dead.
Nathan, you can tweet at our
I'll tweet at it.
podcast.
So, anyways, thanks for joining us. We'll be here next time. Have a good one, everybody.
There we go.
How are those nails?
Good.
Don't touch them to anything.
I know. Like I said.
Yeah.
Nathan, how did we get audio meters on that LCD?